Okay guys, what we're going to learn about today is how to conjugate a verb that ends in ER and then some other irregular. So verb tenses, just a quick reminder, remember that conjugating a verb is matching the verb to its subject. Regular verbs that end in ER work a little bit differently than regular AR verbs, okay? They still follow the same basic pattern, but they're just a little bit different endings. You still must remove the ending, so that's the ER, where we remove the AR before, we're going to remove the ER before adding any of the other endings, okay? So here are your ER verb endings, okay? For the yo form, it's o, the to form is es, the el, ella, usted form is e, nosotros form is hemos, vosotros is es, and the ellos, ellas, ustedes form is en, okay? So, the nosotros and vosotros matches that ER ending. This will come in handy whenever we talk about the next set of verbs, okay? All right, so let's take a look at this verb vender. Vender means to sell, okay? Our first step is to take that ER off, so just drop that off, and then that's our stem. So we're going to put that in all forms, okay? Then what you do is just add the endings from the previous chart. So the yo form is vendo, to form is vendes, el, ella, usted form is vende, nosotros form is vendemos, vosotros form is vendéis, and then the ellos, ellas, ustedes form is vended. Okay? All right. So there are some other irregular verbs that are only irregular in the yo form. Okay? And these verbs are ER verbs too. So they follow the same pattern after the yo form. But the first verb is hacer, which means to do or to make. Second verb is saber, which is to know. And then the third is ver, which is to see. In addition, there's one other verb that we need to learn about, which is venir, and that means to come. And that's another irregular verb. However, it looks very similar to the verb tener. So actually, all you really have to do is switch the T to the V in most forms, okay? So we're going to look at all of these and what they look like in all of their forms, okay? So the verb hacer, the yo form is hago, then the to form is haces, el form is hace, nosotros form is hacemos, vosotros form is hacéis, and then the ellos, ellas, ustedes form is hacen. Okay? Notice that the yo form is the only form that's irregular. All other forms form that same pattern as the ER verbs. Okay? So we take off the ER from hacer, we're left with HAC, and then we add our endings to all the other forms. Okay? So the yo form is the only one that's completely irregular. Okay? All right, let's take a look at ver. Ver means to see, remember? Okay, the yo form is veo, the to form is ves, el, ella, usted form is ve, nosotros form is vemos, vosotros form is veis, and the ellos, ellas, ustedes form is ven. Again, notice that the yo form is the only one that's irregular. All other forms form the same pattern as the ER verbs. So whenever I take the ER off of ver, I'm only left with the letter V, okay? So all I do is add my endings to the letter V, and then I have my verb conjugations for all forms, okay? Except the yo form. Yo form is the one that's irregular. All right, the last one that has this irregular yo form is saber. Saber means to know, okay? The yo form of saber is se, okay? With an accent mark over the E. It's very important to have that accent mark. The to form is sabes, el form is sabe, nosotros form is sabemos, vosotros form is sabéis, and the ellos, ellas, ustedes form is saben. Okay, again, the yo form is the only one that's irregular. All other forms form the same pattern as regular ER verbs. Okay, so just the yo form is the one that's really the one that you have to memorize. Okay, all right, let's take a look at venir. Venir means to come. Okay, the yo form of venir is vengo. So it looks just like tango, except it has a V instead of a T. Okay, to form is vienes. Okay, again, looks very similar to tener, only it has a V instead of a T. El form is viene. Okay, again, looks very similar to tener, only has a V instead of a T. But the nosotros form is a little bit different. It's venimos. So notice that venir actually ends in IR. Okay, so that I has to match in the nosotros form. Okay, just a little hint. right? Vosotros from is venís, so there's an accent mark over the I. And then the ellos, ellas, ustedes from is vienen, so it looks very similar to tienen, but it has a V instead of a T.